Hi, today I'm reviewing the Drunk Elephant Umbra Sheer Physical Defense SPF. And really quick, I just want to say I purchased all these products with my own money, so you know you can trust my opinion is what I honestly believe. And I just wanted to thank everyone for their support of my channel and purchasing the palettes I have. Stay tuned and I'll have more products coming. So, Drunk Elephant has a couple of good sunscreens, and the one I purchased first was the Tint, which I quite liked. And I've got in a couple of the Drunk Elephant kits and the Sephora Sun Safety Kit, a few samples of their sheer physical sunscreen, which I was excited to try given how much I liked their tinted sunscreen. So kind of let me tell you my thoughts of it, and I'll let you guys know if you guys should make a purchase of this one or another sunscreen. So this is the sample size. So the full size that you'd get is 3 ounces and it sells for $34. So my first criteria is packaging, and the full size also comes in a nice tube which protects the ingredients from light and air, so no issues there. My second criteria is alcohol, and there is no denatured alcohol, so that's always a good thing. And my third criteria is fragrance, and this does not contain any fragrance. It really doesn't have any scent at all, which is a good thing. And it's a zinc, which is more of a mineral sunscreen, which has no scent. Sometimes the chemical SPFs can have a little bit of a sunscreen scent to them, but this one is just 20% zinc, so there's no scent at all, which is always a good thing. Then my fourth criteria is manufacturing location, and this is made in the US, so no issues there. My fifth criteria is ease of use, and this is pretty easy to use. You want to use this in the morning after toner, an essence, and a serum, and it smooths on quite easily. The one thing I did notice with this, more than a lot of other sunscreens, is that this one definitely will leave you with a white cast. So I definitely applied way too much there. Let me grab a... That's going to be way too much. So to kind of counteract that white cast, because it does have the mineral sunscreen, which can leave more of a white cast, you can either use something like a Becca over it. The Becca Backlit Primer is what I've been using a lot over my mineral sunscreens. After you let the sunscreen soak in for probably, you want to wait about 5 minutes at least, just to let it absorb into your skin. Apply this over it, a light layer of it, and that will give you a little bit more of a radiant look, and it will give you more of a dewy look than just having that white cast over you. So what I've been doing is I'll apply a vitamin C serum. I've been using the Dermadoctor one a lot. I'll apply that, let it absorb for a minute or two, then I'll apply the sunscreen. Then let it soak in about 5 minutes, and then apply a light layer of the Becca primer over it, and then apply a foundation, and that kind of helps counteract the white cast a lot. It'll help counter it, but if you really hate the white cast, because this one does have more of a white cast than anything else, I highly recommend you check out their Tinted Sunscreen, and I will link to that in the video so you can check out my review of that as well. But this one is tinted, and it's one of the most diverse tints I've seen in a product. If you have super fair skin, this kind of will not bother you too much. And if you have super dark skin, it won't stand out too much. It's one of the most universal tinted products I've seen. So that is worth checking out. This one's a little bit more expensive and you get a little bit less for it, but I tend to like it a lot. So anyway, just a little bit tip, but pretty easy to use anyway. And then number 6 is antioxidants, and this does have a lot of good moisturizing ingredients. It's not super high in a ton of antioxidants. It's got some vitamin E in it, which is good. That's got jojoba and aloe, which are good moisturizing ingredients. So even if you have oily skin or super dry skin, this has a lot of good ingredients in there that will help. If you have oily skin, help it from being too greasy. It doesn't go on super greasy. But if you have dry skin, it also doesn't go on super dry either. So it's worth checking out for either type of skin or combination as well. So good on there. Number 7 is animal testing. And Drunk Elephant is cruelty-free, thankfully, which makes me feel better about giving them more of my money. Number 8 is performance, and this performs quite well, especially under a good foundation, and especially over vitamin C serum, but it performs quite well. It's a 30, which is the gold standard. You don't want to go below 30. If you have a product that's below 30, definitely make sure to use another sunscreen at some part of your makeup routine that is above 30, but this does a great job of blocking some of the rays. So good job there. Number 9 is price, and I gave them a thumb up there. Definitely more expensive than like the Neutrogena or some of the non-prestige, some of the more drugstore brands. But as well, for Drunk Elephant, you get the full size, which is 3 ounces for $34, which will probably last you at least half of a summer. So it's a decent price. And then number 10 is the it factor, and I would have given them a thumb up if there wasn't the white cast factor in it. There is the white cast, which a lot of sunscreens have. This one just has more of it than others. So if you don't like that factor, I do recommend checking this one out, although this one is a little more emollient, but certainly not as much of a white cast at all. So overall, this got a 9 out of 10, which is quite well, especially for a good sunscreen, which it's hard to find because it's probably, in my opinion, the least fun part of my routine, but the most essential and the only product that will really prevent aging is sunscreen. So certainly start wearing it sooner rather than later, and especially if you have kids, make sure they wear it. I don't know. My parents weren't huge on it, but whenever I went to the beach, I certainly had a good sunscreen on. So anyway, I'm interested if you guys have had a chance to check this out yet or not, and if so, what your thoughts were, or if you've checked out the Drunk Elephant, their tinted sunscreen. So let me know what your thoughts are. I love hearing from you guys. Feel free to subscribe if you're not already. I come with at least 1 new review every day. And also check out nobsbeauty.net. Thank you so much, guys.